Hello and welcome. Here's the intro video.
Week on Counter Surveil. We dive headfirst into the active exploitation of CVE 2025-24054, a dangerous Windows NTLM vulnerability. This low-effort credential theft. Attackers weaponize malicious .library-ms files. One click, or even just viewing the folder is enough. NTLM hashes are stolen instantly, enabling lateral movement and privilege escalation, even after Microsoft's patch. Meanwhile, in this week's top cyber headlines, a US defense official caught using unsecured signal chats to discuss war plans. So, political infighting is really crippling US cyber leadership right when it matters most. Massive healthcare data breaches are exposing millions of records, and honestly, it's a huge concern for everyone. North Korean hackers are now pivoting to crypto scams, and yeah, they're faster and nastier than ever before. So, Google has decided to walk back its cookie phase-out plans. But honestly, privacy advocates are not impressed at all. Microsoft's recall feature, well, it's really triggering some major privacy alarms right now. Stay sharp, stay private, and yeah, stay ahead, only on Counter Surveil. Counter Surveil podcast, new episodes every week. Make sure to subscribe now.
You're on mute. Anyway, so for our introduction, welcome to the Counter Surveil podcast. I'm not sure what that music was, but it was hilarious. Good to see all of y'all in YouTube land. We have our lovely hosts, Havoc and
I live up to my name.
Sledge.
Hey, my camera's not glitching today.
And I stole your intro.
Somebody's got to do it when this idiot mutes himself and then forgets. There you go. So I wanted to explore the news a little bit differently this week. So I've been fucking around. Like I showed you guys a few weeks ago how I was using that visual mind map thing. Well, today I went to go use it and the site had a Cloudflare SSL error. So I'm like, oh no, what do I do? My tool's down. Should never be too reliant on one tool. That's a pretty good practice to begin with. So I found there's a Visual Studio plugin that does pretty much the same thing, but also lets you export stuff to HTML format, which I thought was pretty freaking cool as well. So when I do a visual like mind map of something like this NTLM hash that we're going to be discussing today, we can, we can show it visually, which is kind of cool. It also has the ability to put like hyperlinks in there, so I can click right into the stories from the mind map. So that's what I'm going to do as soon as I get my shit up. And you guys are going to stall for like 30 seconds while I do that.
Yeah, I gotta change a tire anyway, so this is gonna take a second.
Oh shit, gotta stall. So what do y'all think of Havoc's new haircut?
It's the same.
Pretty
haircut.
slick.
Very, very good. All right, so we are ready. I'm gonna hit the present and share screen, and let's move over to Mark Map. All right, so I can zoom in on this as needed. So let's start out with the first story this week. We have another scandal. Apparently, our chief of defense here, Mr. Hegseth, has decided to use Signal on a dirty line. So this is the Secretary of Defense here, and he has been caught yet again screwing up with Signal. This time, he used a unsecure line. Essentially, they've got a VPN he should be using. Rather than use that, he's using his own device, his own stuff. This is not the same one as the last time. It would be nice if the hyperlinks worked, you know. So we got no working hyperlinks in the way that I did this, apparently. That's fucking great. But luckily, I know where I got my source from, which is this.weekendsecurity. So I'm just going to share that tab instead.
It's just one of them days.
Whoosh. Oh, yeah, man. It is Murphy's Law always with this podcast. Whatever
I cut my dog's balls off. I thought it would be enough for the demo gods.
No. They needed you to botch that way worse.
Share that tab instead. So.
Wait, we have a tab of his balls getting cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Sorry. Article.
Yeah. I haven't had an orchiectomy just yet. So we have to start here this week with Shaw's and pinch his nose, folks. He went and did it again several weeks after the U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth shared extensive war plans in a Signal group chat and mistakenly included a journalist. The Post and AP found he was also sharing war plans over Signal with his wife, brother, and others, also using a dirty line, which means a regular internet connection. But from this official office in the Pentagon, in order to use Signal on its desktop app, leaving commenting cybersecurity and record-keeping experts aghast. So, dude's got a laptop. He's using his own internet connection on the laptop instead of the secure internet connection in the Pentagon. That's a no-no. You should not be using a dirty line. I mean, look, all it would take would be for somebody to figure out, 1, his phone number, 2, the Signal account, and 3, a bunch of the information of his relatives. And the next thing we're going to know is somebody's going to have a Signal account tied to a dead phone number of one of his relatives, and they're going to get more plans.
You just let the wrong guy into your chat like the last time.
Well, this time he let his wife in, so it's different. It's a wife. You can trust your wife, right?
Haven't you ever, had a little bit of foreplay with government secrets first?
No comment on that one.
There we go. See, it's apparently a common fetish.
So, first off, Signal's great. Don't get me wrong. And it's not cleared for government use because the devices that Signal runs on are more susceptible to malware because oftentimes they're people's regular phones. These are not the lockdown phones that the government are going to have their own MDM on where they can maintain the phones, make sure applications are up to date, make sure they have the latest security patches. This is just the dude's phone he bought from T-Mobile or wherever else. So
there is a conversation there. Would you trust Signal over a government-regulated communication channel?
I would, and apparently so would our Secretary of Defense, and the Obama administration also apparently was also using Signal. But there's use cases for when you should use certain things. They have their own encrypted apps. Now, obviously, their encrypted apps are probably going to be backdoored for government to be able to go back in the timeline and see what was said in those because you need to keep records when you're in the government. You can't even have text messages on a government phone that you would have private forever. If somebody does a FOIL request, they get them. Yeah, man. Like, Teams is cool.
It's encrypted, but your employer's still going to see what you're doing.
Exactly. And when your employer can see what you're doing, when everybody can see what you're doing, that's there's a little bit of leeway in there for other people to figure it out. So I get why, right? They would choose to use Signal over like their official app, especially if they're doing things that might not necessarily be something they want recorded where the public's going to figure it out later. But they
somebody that's not privy to having that software installed on their device.
Exactly. So we got this nice little meme here from Zach here. Chinese hackers breached NSA firewall earlier this morning. Any chance they fixed their Wi-Fi? That's great. Next, we've got ex-CISA chief. Trump actions risk dangerously degrading U.S. cyber defenses. Now, we don't like to get political in this podcast. We try to keep things centrist, middle of the aisle, no taking sides on either side. A lot of politically charged shit going on here. So I'm going to read this as it was written by Zach here. This is not my take on it. Former CISA boss Chris Krebs has been in the news as of late after Trump ordered a retaliatory federal investigation into him for publicly disrupting Trump's false claims of election irregularities during the 2020 presidential campaign. Yet, we heard practically crickets from the cybersecurity industry, fearful that Trump will come after them as well. Now,
no relation to Brian Krebs.
Yeah, this is the other Krebs, the one who worked at CISA until he was fired. And he shouldn't have been, honestly, because the guy didn't do anything wrong, in my personal opinion. Now, his successor, Jen Easterly, good name for this time of year, has posted on LinkedIn with a pointed message, but without naming names. Trump's actions are putting the nation's cyber defenses at risk, being dangerously degraded. Easterly's comments are really worth a read as the folks at RSA this week, and I encourage you to take the time. If we fail to stand up to our leaders being punished for telling the truth, for doing their jobs with honor, then we are not leading, we're calculating, said Easterly. the folks at RSA conference, which is going on right now, she gave a talk there. She said it's time to think about what brings us together, and she's talking about people there. So RSA going on this week, in my opinion, too corporate of a security conference for me to give a shit about.
Ooh,
But
corpos.
too corpo.
All in the same hotel Wi-Fi. I mean nothing.
Yeah, but they have segmentation turned on most hotel Wi-Fi. You got to bring your pineapple and get them to connect to you.
I was about to say,
No, they use Aruba.
That stopped me before.
Yeah, I like that meme where the guy's like, "This Wi-Fi is really fast," and then he looks at his IP address and it's like 172 dot. He's like, "Oh shit, there's pineapple."
Yeah, no, that Wi-Fi is really fast. He should stay on it.
Oh
Totally.
yeah.
Roll your own fucking VPN.
Oh yeah, this is time for everyone's favorite sponsor. Okay, here's the segue. Come on.
When you guys do that, you got to give me a heads up first because I think I got to
We
navigate
can't. It's
into
not
these.
Oh,
things. Here you go.
you want to protect your precious data from the prying eyes of your ISP, the NSA, and your nosy neighbor? Well, good luck with that. But if you insist on not being a sheep, roll your own fucking VPN is the way to go. First, go buy a VPS. Don't worry, it's not like you're renting a server to host your illicit activities. Or are you?
You need to hear this.
Oh, you want to
Yeah, I'm not playing the whole thing again.
We get the gist.
We got plenty of news to cover here. We don't need a minute and 30 seconds of that right now.
Aww.
So we got two major health-related breaches hitting across the U.S. This one is we're only in April, right? So like 4 months into the year. Blue Shield of California revealed it's been sharing personal and health-related information of more than 4.7 million patients with Google over a period of several years, thanks to misconfigured website trackers. A ton of healthcare firms got caught doing this same shit when the pandemic happened. Not that it excuses it. Google wouldn't say if it would delete the data, but was happy to use the information for advertising against affected patients.
Wow.
Oh, that's some dystopian shit right there. Also, Lambda said his goal in life is to get kicked out of the RSA conference after just 5 minutes. Y'all, can we get a speed run counter on this?
The compliance in me is just screaming.
So a ton of healthcare firms got caught during the pandemic doing this shit. It wasn't just them, right? The default configuration of the way you set up this tracker shares way more information with Google than it should. And Google should have not only known this, they probably did, but they should have done something to anonymize the data. Of course,
It's like, we're getting it. We'll take it.
Couldn't advertise as efficiently to people to buy the shit that they want. So, Connecticut's Yale and New Haven Health System, the state's largest, also this week said that it was not disrupting, that it was not disputing it was hit by ransomware. In other words, it was hit by ransomware in March, and it's notifying 5.5 million people of that breach. And double disclosure, Zach wrote both those stories. Good for Zach. Zach is fucking one of my favorite guys who writes InfoSec shit. Him and Catalin Simpanu do a really good job of taking a story, and they make it like fairly technical, but not so technical that if you're not like an industry guy, you can't understand it. They do a good middle ground, in my opinion. Anyhow, crypto scams and losses lead the FBI's annual cybercrime report. So, Evelyn, this is no surprise to you. Scams involving cryptocurrency were top of the FBI's annual report on cybercrime across 2024. The Fed say scam victims were mostly folks aged 60 or older who lost a collective $4.8 billion in crypto scams, including pig butchering. For those of you who don't know what pig butchering is, that's a type of romance scam where they lead people along on the pretext they're eventually going to meet up with them. They usually use fake images as well as fake people altogether, and trick the people into sending them money under various different pretexts, such as, hey, I'd really love to come visit you, but unfortunately I just lost my job and I can't even afford my rent. But if you could help me with rent this month and also get me a plane ticket, I'd come out to you right away. Oh, no, don't actually buy me the plane ticket. Just give me a prepaid Visa. I'll buy it myself. That kind of stupidity that people fall for. Yep. Why? People
I've
are
even
lonely.
seen that on true crime videos too on
May
YouTube.
I add, pig butchering the people they're using in pig butchering are usually human trafficking victims these days. And we're usually talking massive, massive international operations.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
then
some
it's
dark
gift
shit.
cards.
Okay,
Next.
carry on.
Yep. So it's pretty bleak reading, right? But it's probably a reminder, especially to folks, that if you're actively involved with cryptocurrency and all of a sudden somebody, maybe an attractive Asian woman, has reached out to you on social media and seems very interested in you, your life, and maybe your password reset questions, maybe you should be a bit cautious. And next we have Google. They decided they're not going to ditch the third-party cookies after all. So this one, for about a year and a half, Google's been leading up to, we're going to be ditching third-party cookies. What they were going to do was transition to using Java Web Tokens, where they can do the same shit anyway, and it's harder for people to figure out or clear. But with 75% of their revenue coming from advertising, and them promising they're going to pull the plug and roll out its privacy sandbox, in the end, it turns out that making money off of all of our data was far more important to them than anything else. So they're not pulling that. They're going to keep the cookies. They're going to keep fucking us. And that's just how it is. So remember, run no script, run whatever the hell else you can still run in your browser of choice after Manifest v3, because right now,
I don't know, man. I'm still of the mindset, if I'm going to be forced to have ads, I'd rather have ads that I might be interested in.
No, I agree, man. So look, you might want ads that you would be interested in, and you can go into if you're running Windows, for instance. I know you might not be, but you can change your advertising ID. You can make it so it doesn't share it with websites. You can try to anonymize to a degree, but at the end of the day, these technologies have gotten very intrusive. They're very good at tying your real identity to the devices that you use, even if you change browsers. And the ads that you're going to get, for instance, the other week you saw the badges I was looking at in the ads of my my stuff there.
Yep.
I was looking at badges, right? Do you know why you saw that? Because I wasn't in that browser. They tied it to my IP address, not my browser. And that was an IP address of a VPN I was using that is hosted in DigitalOcean. So the fact that I was connected to the same VPN or the same external IP and browsing even with a different browser, they still tied it back to me. So
rolling your own
actually
VPN
pretty interesting.
And help. Oh my god, you rolled your own and that didn't work. What are we gonna do? That's like all the advice we have.
Well,
I like how after you buy something, that's when you start getting ads for what you just bought.
Mm-hmm.
That's generally how it works, man. They're like, they get that you visited the website, right? And a lot of the websites are getting clever. So they'll be like, we'll give you 10% off your first purchase if you give us your email. Now they've got your email and they've tied it to your browser profile. They're going to spam the shit out of you with these messages every week. And it's going to be like, hey, you still have items in your cart. You know, we're going to have a sale soon. All this. They're trying to get recurring revenue. It's a game. It's like they want money. They know you're going to buy it because you're interested. So they're going to spam you. Your best bet is to be as privacy centric as possible. Do what you can to anonymize yourself where you can, but no one's going to be perfect here. Double pulsar, remember that? Well,
oh yeah.
Remember when that time when Microsoft rolled out a software update that would screenshot everything on the user's display, including their passwords, credit card numbers, and allow them or malware to access all that data at any point in time? Microsoft called it Microsoft Recall. Hey, Microsoft Recall. Remember that shit? Not too long ago. And it went down with customers as you'd expect. Not great. They recalled Recall, and now Recall is back out of Recall. And last but not least, it's now opt-in instead of being pushed out by default, which is obviously better than it was. However, on the security front, it's still not by much. It's still a significant security risk, and it's recommended that you not only disable Recall, but in my personal opinion, all Windows telemetry. There's great programs like O&O's Shut Up program. Shut Up 10 works very well. It can do all those registry keys for you, so you don't need to manually pop through your registry. If I were a threat actor, I would compromise that program. Then I get all the people who are into privacy getting backdoored. That'd be awesome.
I'm just curious what their motivation for even doing that was. Was it kind of like the idea of having snapshots in like a VM?
No. So it's kind of like, like as you use Windows, you want to kind of look at what you were doing the day before and you can see all that shit. Well, this one tied into their AI product. So what you could do with Recall was essentially have the AI train itself on the data of what you're doing day to day. It was an interesting experiment. I don't think it went too well. It's back out though.
Hmm.
It's I think it tied in with Copilot, if memory serves.
Ah,
Yes. Yale student exposes a data leak in a college dating app. So we've got some research and findings from Alex Shapiro here, who found that a student found a dating app called Sursa is a hot mess of security bugs exposing the private information of thousands of its users. He handled this like a pro and reached out to privately disclose the issue, but unfortunately, they decided not to alert their users and waited a month. And guess what happens when somebody discloses something to you and you don't do anything about it and a month goes by? They write an article about it, and now everybody knows. So we got a write up on just how bad this leak is. So this app was founded by students of Georgetown University and Southern California. It's a new dating app. Multiple universities use it, including Yale, Penn, Duke, Emory. It requires users to sync their contacts and view potential matches with whom they share at least one contact. It brands itself as a safe friends of friends dating network. It turned out to be anything but. He's got a blog post where he goes really deep into this vulnerability here. So let's switch over to that tab, if that works. How a broken OTP and open endpoints turn a dating app into a stalker's playground. Just what we need. Make that shit a little bigger for people who don't necessarily have eyes that can see such small text. And look, startups do need to take security seriously. This is like a big deal. We had a lot of people, they're like, I'm going to build an app. And they hire somebody on Fiverr who has no idea how to code an app securely. All they know is design and maybe a little bit of back end. And the next thing you know, you've got a horribly insecure app. And this happens all the fucking time. So far too people know how to make secure apps. If you go look at Mr. John Hammond's content, he's got a really good video where he explains Android security. He goes into how to decompile an Android APK file, turn it back into the Java code, look through said Java code, and also ways that you can obscure that, make it very difficult, make it a very difficult time for somebody who's trying to take the thing apart to see what's actually going on. Good freaking video by Mr. Hammond there. But obviously, a dating app is going to have a lot of personal information. So I was fortunate enough to meet a dude over at HushCon. No, not HushCon. Sorry, at Wild West Hacking Fest, who actually does security for a bunch of data apps. I'd like to ask him about this and see what he has to say. He's on like the security team for like all those freaking dating apps because they're all owned by the same people, except for maybe the little ones. I'm sure he would have a lot to say about this. Maybe I'll try and get him on here. But first things first, they only use OTP-based sign-in. So that is one-time password. They just text you a code to your phone number. So you went to go check the response from triggering the OTP. The OTP is directly in the response, meaning that when you go to sign in, you can look at in Chrome. You can go to DevTools and you can see the code of somebody else when you go to sign in as them. That's getting sent to them. That's not good security. That's really shitty security.
Oh, God, that's awful. Oh, they didn't even try.
It's literally right here in the JSON right there. Oh, boy.
Oh.
That's a dating cheat code right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just sign in as the person and date, and then go back to your profile and just show up and be like, hey, you accepted my date. And look, and it's got geolocation data in here too. So when you sign in, you can see the person whose account you've signed into's location data from the app that's on there. So that's really bad. Man.
No.
Like paradise kind of shit.
Oh, no.
And that coder does indeed get a big F on their exam. Well, let's move on. We kind of
maybe he did it on purpose because he was really looking for a date.
It sounds like something Zuck would do, you know?
You know, that actually does. It's just there's an easier way for devs to get laid. It's called income. They usually have it.
Yeah.
Next, we've got North Koreans created U.S. firm to dupe crypto developers. So we all know about the North Koreans setting up fake job interviews with developers who work in crypto and then tricking them into downloading applications that are things like translator apps or all sorts of stupid things that developers should know better, or telling them they need to use a specific Python library that the bad guy developers haven't said backdoored. Um, so what we have here is North Koreans actually setting up a company in the US to do the same shit. So North Korea goes after crypto. It's a known tactic. Now their spies are getting more brazen. They're setting up actual entities in violation of sanctions with the aim of duping developers into installing malware, stealing funds. 3 businesses were identified. One of them had their funds seized by the FBI already, their webpage seized. Due diligence is important here. North Koreans are everywhere these days, and they're getting really good at infiltrating companies. In related news, Okta's threat unit has a blog post on how North Koreans are using AI services, and Trend Micro's looking at overlaps with Russian infrastructure. Yep, it's all your fault, Lambda, for giving that talk on Red Star OS.
Yeah. Yep. Damn it, Lambda. Told you. OPSEC, not SlopSec, man. Warned you. Freaking warned you. No, we're kidding. Love you, Lambda.
Do you have a copy of it?
Yes, I think he does actually. Well, he has a copy of the talk, but also he has like.
I've got a copy of the Chinese OS from back in the day.
He has.
Yeah, we've all got copies of Red Star OS, and we all were going to analyze it at some point. None of us ever got around to it.
He actually got around
played
to
with
it.
Next, we have employee snooping tools spills millions of screenshots. So this employee monitoring snoop tech called Work Composer monitors and takes screenshots of what employees are doing on their work computers. And you know where it saves those screenshots? Into an open Amazon S3 bucket. Why the fuck? Put it in there. Let everybody see what's going on your employees' work computers all day long. I'm sure none of them have password managers where they're eventually like clicking show password that would end up in there either. So another reason
not to put any client data in Google or third party. We're just going to put it in an open S3 bucket.
Well, the thing is, managers after the pandemic don't know how to manage. They're all like, hey, there's no people in front of me at the office anymore. How do I know that my employees who work remotely are working? Which is what leads to tools like this bullshit Work Composer that companies buy.
Oh, no, Lambda. His company uses Work Composer. Your shit is popped, man.
Now we're going to have to go through all those screenshots in that S3 bucket and find Lambdas. No, just kidding.
Yep. Don't worry. I know exactly where it will be, too.
We can use AI to go through all those screenshots. It'll be fun.
Yep.
It's like
we'll use Moloch's tool.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, Moloch did build a tool that goes through screenshots with AI. I saw a similar one a while back that does it just for RDP to look for when people do the stupid bypasses for Windows, like replacing files like Magnifier. Next, top African and Korean telcos have been hacked. 2 major telcos reveal hacks this week. The MTN group in Africa said a hacker claimed to have accessed some internal systems, although few details about the breach itself are known. Meanwhile, South Korean phone giant SK Telecom said some customer data was leaked due to malware, but it's replacing SIM cards of 23 million people as a result.
Oh boy!
At $1 a SIM card, that's like 23 mil, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you can get it down to 10 cents a SIM card.
Minor fucky wucky.
2.3 mil. Get it down to 10 cents a SIM, you're looking at 2.3 million. UK moves to block global titles abuse. Sticking with phone networks for a hot second, the UK comms regulator said it's put in place new measures to block misuse of global titles, a critical technology used by phone companies for the routing of messages and other data across the world. Global titles have been misused by malicious actors, think surveillance vendors, to intercept messages, calls, and location data. Ofcom has more on what measures it's putting in place. So SS7.
So for this one, we need to define what a title is in this context.
Yes.
Well, we can do that by clicking into the article. Global titles are unique network addresses used by telecom signaling. They function similarly to phone numbers, but are designated for network nodes instead of devices. GTs
Thank
are
you,
essential for routing of signaling messages, enabling seamless international roaming and internet connectivity. So think SS7 type shit, right? Signaling System 7. This
Yep.
is what's going to connect your internet to your phone. Old school phone, like POTS.
Yeah.
Fuck. I feel young.
You are young. And
Oh, thank you.
UK retail giant Marks and Spencer says it's been hit by an unspecified cyber attack, which hit grocery order pickups and some contactless payments. Now, a note with London Stock Exchange, the retailer has stopped customer picking up orders amid ongoing delays and outages. 32 million customers affected there. Breach forums. Remember breach forums? Remember how I said a few weeks ago, if you log into breach forums, I'm almost sure it's a honeypot. So make sure you're using a VPN, and not one you rolled yourself, because that'll tide you if you use your own credit card to pay for it. So
I was about to say, is it time? No, it's not.
Maybe there is a use for your third-party VPN services. And that would be if you're logging into breach forums and you want to blend in with a bunch of other assholes logging into bleach forums. I would log into bleach forums and watch that shit all day.
As an anime lover, yeah. Forums, can we get some bleach forums?
Oh yeah. So the FBI seized it again. Look, Pomporian used to run this shit. He was like 16. FBI took that. And then it came back. And then it was kind of sketch on how it came back. And the mods were like, maybe you shouldn't trust it. And then it's back. And then it's gone. And then it's back. It's like Anne Hesh. It's like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. It's like, just pick one. So breach forums. If you're going to use it, I also recommend, if you're going to send Bitcoin so that you can get some credits, don't tie it to a PayPal linked Bitcoin address. That's just stupid OPSEC-wise. Do the very minimum step of converting it to Monero and then sending the Monero to another wallet that is controlled on either Cake Wallet or something else that you only access on a VPN, and then you send them their fucking money, unless you convert it back to Bitcoin, of course. Anyhow, use some OPSEC, just a little, please, because now the FBI has got a lot of people's information and have tied their identities, at least their breach forum identities, to their.
So people just use the PayPal to Bitcoin. Oh no!
Hang on. Before we move on, scroll back up. Can you click on that @Crow? Is there any information about him?
Crow? I don't know Crow personally.
I'm thinking I might.
Just another analyst chasing squirrels and pretending to know things. Anything stupid I say should be blamed on AI. I mean, I don't intentionally use AI products, but if the AI snake oilers can take credit for the things that other people produce, they can also take the blame.
All right,
I don't know this Crow.
Yeah,
I like this guy.
Different guy.
Hey, Crow, if you're out there watching, can you let us know? Because, I like you. And I need to buy you a beer.
If he says no, you're going to have to eat Crow.
Hey!
Work Composer, top African and Korean telcos have been hacked. Covered that. This one we just covered. All right, UK retail giant Marks and Spencer hit by ransomware. Who gives a shit? Breach forums. We covered. All right, and that's where we left off before I accidentally closed the page. Alleged
screen.
Sure. Just
there you go.
Tyler Buchanan, a not-so-wee lad from Scotland, was extradited from Spain to the U.S. this week to face justice for the scattered spider hacking group, which ripped through dozens of tech giants and the occasional casino during a year-long hacking spree. We may end up hearing more about the specifics themselves during the trial, but as of now, that's what we know. And TP-Link having a NatSec probe. So that's national security, by the way. For those of you who don't know, TP-Link makes really cheap routers. They're manufactured in China. They oftentimes run offshoots of things like OpenWRT that they've customized themselves and put a nice little front end on. It looks like we're trying to pull a Huawei here, put them on that list of shit that you should not be using. So TP-Link routers, historically, I've never really relied on. I do like OpenWRT and GLINet based routers if I'm going to buy like a cheap home router or a travel router. I oftentimes will still replace the GLINet software with just stock OpenWRT, but I digress. These routers have been found to be pretty damn vulnerable. They have had lots of security issues over the years and apparently also backdoors. So
I feel like we need a website specifically for TP-Link with that counter saying, this is how many days it's been since TP-Link has been in the news for some breach or something, that this, that, or the other.
The 0 days. Just get a sign going.
It's been a while, but here's the latest update to what can Doom run on. And this week, it turns out to be a custom operating system called TacOS. That's
tacos!
Cool.
It's tacos!
Tacos.
It's tacos!
Wait, I heard the new Doom comes in a box, and the box itself plays Doom.
Yeah, it does, and it's super expensive, but totally fucking worth it. Shut up and take my money.
And it turns out the now infamous anti-piracy campaign may have itself used a pirated font. Absolutely no notes here, but that's pretty funny. That the font and the Ewan pirate, like, yeah.
Irony!
Oh, the irony. I don't think fonts should be copyrightable. I don't think they should be something that it's a font, man. Come on. It's like, I get somebody made it. It took them time, but it's a typeface. You shouldn't be able to copyright that, in my opinion. And my opinion's often wrong, but we'll see. And a cute kitty.
I'm trying to
You always
argue
gotta have a
against
cute
that.
kitty. You know, I was in an issue of this with my cute kitty many years back.
Oh, kitty! Look at the kitty! It's a kitty! Look at the kitty! Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep it up. It helps me stall as I go to bring up the next shit that I've got here.
Kitty! Hey, everyone in the chat, if you got a cat and it's cute, tell us about it.
Mine
I know
won't leave me
Lamba's
the hell
got some.
alone.
All right, so let's go into
mine's
the
right here.
article. So first off, let's talk about ASUS here. So this ASUS router, AI cloud authentication bypass. So they're sticking AI bullshit into everything, including new routers. And unfortunately, these ASUS routers, which are maybe just slightly more secure than the TP-Link ones, have an attack vector here where you can craft an HTTP request to an AI cloud endpoint that will bypass authentication. On all these different versions of the firmware, the remote attacker sends the request to the public IP of the AI cloud interface, and you're able to bypass authentication, access restricted functions without credentials, access files, configuration changes, and have remote code execution on the device. You can combine this with other vulnerabilities, leverage it for lateral movement into home networks. It's not great. There is no POC available just yet, but I'm sure there will be one soon. And router logs may record suspicious requests if you have logging enabled, which is not enabled by default. When there's new firmware available, you should apply it. In the meantime, you should disable AI Cloud. You should restrict LAN access to your router management interface. In fact, unless you're a fucking moron, you shouldn't have your WAN router management interface facing the internet. I don't see any reason to do that at all. And you should monitor your logs for unusual activity.
What model was that?
So anyone that uses AI Cloud, and now I know you've got an ASUS router. Now.
No, I don't. I just have some laying around in the box somewhere.
I mean,
it's the newer ones that had the AI bullshit built into them.
Oh, mine are old as shit. So
yeah, mine are also old as shit.
Yeah, I've got a. So I will hit like thrift shops and just clean up on all like the old routers, and then I'll toss OpenWRT on them, and then I will think I'm going to use it someday for something, and then I don't, and it sits in the closet.
Yeah, that's all they're good for. I'm an Ubiquiti fanboy these days.
Ubiquiti is great. I have a service I do as part of my company for people who are like Bitcoin bros called Fortress. And we use Ubiquiti in that service to help harden people's networks and give them logging when they didn't have logging before. I really like the Dream Station. I think it's a fucking solid product. I'm not running it at home.
But there's also a very valid argument. Ubiquiti versus Microtic. They're both excellent.
Microtic. Explain. I'm not familiar with Microtic. Why don't you tell me a little bit about them?
It's basically the same shit, different brand.
Ah,
And can we just appreciate that none of this is sponsored, but if y'all really want to, we actually do technically have a Digital Ocean affiliate link.
yeah. Give us some free instance shit. Yeah.
Please do, because rolling our own VPN has cost us some serious DigitalOcean creds.
Yeah, and I'll shout out to Ray-Ban or Raycon.
Ray-Ban.
These things
Ray-Ban.
are awesome. I love these earbuds.
Who's
These things
behind
are
them
freaking
Ray-Bans,
great.
man?
So CVE, the episode title here, 2025 24054. This is our topic for this week that I picked for the episode title. I know, Sledge, you have not had a chance to really look into this one, but this is really fucking cool. So they're using it mainly in phishing right now, but it could be used a variety of other ways. So you pretty much set up your responder box in the cloud to listen for hashes is step one. Step two, you email your victim a .library MS file. You can put it in a zip file. You can put it in a 7-zip file. You can put it in anything you want as long as it's going to end up on the dude's computer. It's got an XML payload, right? In that XML payload, you are putting your address for your responder in the cloud or whatever else the hell you want to use that's going to do the same shit. And then all it takes is the user to literally have that file open in Windows Explorer. Now, it says here they need to select it or right-click. I tested it. No, you don't. You literally just need to have Windows Explorer open on that, and the hashes go across the wire. No file execution is required. Literally just needs to exist in the file system, and it is being sent with a zip file. Now, if this sounds familiar, that's because there was something very similar earlier this year, or late last year, rather, called CVE 2024-43451 that worked in a very similar way, where all you needed to do was view the file in Explorer, and you'd get hashes across the wire. So if you want to combine these two into a single payload, luckily you can. So you can put both these files in a zip archive and then upload it to your favorite site with a legitimate crack of a software. And you know, whenever somebody goes to open that zip file and browse that folder, you're going to get a hash. Just as an example. Now, SMB servers and bulletproof hosting are utilizing this. Oh, I see a new ding. CrowdStrike!
Yay! Buddy, how you doing?
My voice
So
is
the
a little
connectors-
Oh, god damn, yeah, you sound like Batman, dude.
my voice is a little messed up, so please excuse me. But what's up?
No,
What's
you
going on?
actually sound like Batman. Like, you got the right tone and everything. It's honestly a little terrifying.
Can you say, do you bleed?
Do you bleed?
Oh my god! Holy shit, he's a Batman. I mean, you could be like a backup voice actor for Batman. That's horrible and amazing. And I'm so sorry you're in pain, but it's hilarious. Not the fact you're in pain, but your voice. Your voice is funny, not the fact you're hurting. That's
it was
not
worth
funny.
it. The show is worth it. I promise. It's fine.
Okay.
So it's got a pretty cool attack chain where you can put multiple payloads in it. Essentially, you got your zip file. You put CVE 2024-434, same shit. Put that file in there. Put this file in there. The infrastructure that the attackers are using are bulletproof hosting in Russia and Bulgaria, and they're targeting high privilege accounts in government and enterprise systems. The timing, it began about 8 days post-patch. So March 19th is when the patch came out. So about 8 days after that is when this started getting exploited. They probably honestly reverse engineered the Windows patch. That's how I would do it. And as far as detection evasion is concerned, this is a legitimate type of file, .library-ms. So like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've come across it too often, except maybe in the database once. But like, it's not common. So you're probably not going to risk anything if you go to your mail gateway and you go a thing where you tell it to deny any email that contains that file extension. I doubt you're going to have any user complain, and that's a pretty good way to make sure the shit doesn't make it into your environment. Also, hopefully your mail gateway also inspects zip files. You know, if they're password protecting the zip files, maybe just don't allow encrypted zip files past your email gateway. I don't know.
This is actually pretty interesting. I've never seen it done this way, but like I have triggered hashes going across the wire using XML injection and stuff like that, calling out to something, and boom, you grab a hash. Bob's your uncle. But in this case, you're using a file to trigger that. That's pretty neat.
And it just needs to be open in Explorer, and like that folder be open. So you
Yeah.
don't even have to like right click on the file itself or do anything. It just needs to be open in Explorer
You just
and
be able to
like
see it.
in that folder. Yep. The second that the icon becomes visible is when the hash goes out over the wire.
Yep.
IP logging. SMB servers are traceable to apt28, so we know the threat actor behind it, or at least they have a very good suspicion of who's behind it. And obviously, look, the success of this is going to depend both on your password complexity and the relay target hardening. Now, if I were
As
doing,
anything with hashes.
I would set up different relay servers for different targets, because otherwise you're just going to get a bunch of hashes hitting your responder in the cloud, and you're not going to know which company they belong to. You might know the domain name based on the hash that comes across the wire, but that doesn't necessarily mean you could correlate it back to the environment it came from easily. Defensive recommendations: patch, enforce SMB signing, and disable NTLM where possible. Use
How do I
Kerberos.
enable SMB signing?
So enforcing SMB signing, I've been fighting this fight at companies for years. Oftentimes the excuse that I will get is I can't enable SMB because that transport overhead to add signing and encryption to SMB packets makes it so that SMB file shares slow down about maybe 25%, which means that networks, it takes a little bit longer for somebody when they click their file share to get the file. Arguably, that transport overhead does shit when most of your files are Word and Excel files. It's like you don't even notice it. You're only going to notice it if somebody's doing like a backup over SMB, and that's going to add a little bit more time to like a multiple gigabyte backup. But for your average shit, you're not going to notice it.
And at that point, use a different protocol or something.
And speaking of NTLM, Microsoft did depreciate NTLM on Windows Server in the new releases, and I believe there's already passed their official end date for NTLM support. So you should be using Kerberos if you can. Not that that's going to be an easy hill for most IT people to, get to and overcome there. So what do you guys think of the way that we're sharing the info here with the charts and graphs and shit?
Backstrap.
That's really cool.
So let me now show you how the fuck I did that, because I'm sure some people are kind of curious. And it's super fucking easy. So you go and grab yourself visualstudio.code. And let me share that screen.
Backstrap.
Right. So this is visualstudio.code here. And all you do here is you go to the plugins and extensions rather, and you get this one called Mark Map. Once you've got it, you then just go and you have a .md file, and then you go and you turn the damn thing on, and boom, you've got the ability to do this shit. So in the for like the ASUS router one, pretend that I can talk and I'm not retarded. You pretty much just go with Markdown. Look, Markdown is really fucking simple. It is probably the easiest language. If you had to learn either Markdown or LaTeX, go learn Markdown, because an idiot monkey can write Markdown, whereas LaTeX at least requires a little thought. But look how simple this shit is. And look, you don't need to be really good at writing Markdown either. You can just go to ChatGPT and give it a fucking article and be like, hey, convert this to mind map Markdown format, and it'll give you shit like this. Put it in here, and then you got a nice little mind map. And then you can go here and export it, and you can export it as HTML. You can export it as scalable vector graphics.
Or an SVG where I can cut it out on my vinyl cutter, my laser engraver.
Oh my god!
earlier.
When I pasted this in our group chat here, he was like, "Oh, you want me to print this?" And he just had it without the actual words here when he opened his SVG, probably because it's all white and he opened it on a white background. But still,
It's pretty cool.
And it works. It's super fucking easy to do. I was using this website Markdown Map to do this, but today when I went to go use it, Cloudflare said they had an SSL issue. So I'm like, I gotta find another way to do this. So it's the other way to do it, and it's freaking cool, man. And like at a glance, I can understand what the hell is going on here. And I think this is something everybody should be doing. Maybe building plugins for their websites. Just put this in the articles. What I want to do, I talked to Iron Geek about, and he's cool with, is going through some of his old talks, the more popular ones, and building mind maps for them, but linking in the mind map. So like if you were to click the area here where it says like affected firmware, it would have a hyperlink, and the hyperlink would lead to the part of that YouTube talk based on the timestamp. And he's cool with me doing that. So I got to get my rear in gear. And
do you think Afix's platform can do that?
it might be a good tie-in to Afix's platform. Or having a mind map on top of that shit he built could work together. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'd have to use his shit for that.
Maybe he could build a plugin for something for it.
Well, the thing is, when I extract the YouTube content itself from the text transcript, I use NoteGPT to do that generally because I paid for a year of it and I had nothing else to use it for. So when I get the text transcript, it's already got the timestamps in there. So what I can do is pretty much just tell it to build this, but keep the timestamps in, and then write a piece of code where I'll have the base URL, and then the base URL will append the how far into the video based on the timestamp into the hyperlink. It's not too hard to code it. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet, and I'm also a pretty shitty coder, and I refuse to be one of the vibe coders. I'm not going to rely on AI to code for me. So anyway, but yeah, man. This is about as far as the AI automation I'm willing to go right now.
No, that's wrong. No.
He's not the blue chimmer we asked for, but damn, he's the one we needed.
BRB printing a bad cow.
So
I love this too much, man.
The real sad part is I won't have his voice next week. I should be fine. So like, it'll go to waste. Sadly.
No, it won't. No, it won't. Now, what you have to do is start recording yourself with that voice and just abuse it.
So there's one other thing here from GitHub I forgot to put in the show notes that I shared with you guys that I think is interesting. Let's see if I can get this up and reshare my screen.
Batch strong.
So who likes RCE and SSH?
Mhm.
I do. So here in Erlang, so this is an Erlang implementation of SSH. We have unauthenticated remote code execution. So this is a serious vulnerability identified in the Erlang OTP SSH server that allows an attacker to perform unauthenticated RCE by exploiting a flaw in the SSH protocol message handling. Malicious actor gains unauthenticated access to the system to execute arbitrary commands, yada, 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 what's all users running Erlang OTP SSH server are impacted. Now, if you were to look up this on Shodan, you would see quite a few of these out there. It is not as popular as, say, OpenSSH server or the BSD SSH server, but it is still pretty popular. Now, I don't recommend you go popping people's SSH, but until an upgrade is available, they do recommend disabling the SSH server. So maybe if you are running this, go turn it off until you can get it patched. Yep.
Or
oh my god!
Expose that shit to the internet.
The audience wants merch. Everyone wants Batstrunk shirts. Are we gonna make Batstrunk shirts? No.
Batstrunk.
Batstrunk.
Yeah. So I've covered the news for this week. Now, what the fuck do you guys want to talk about outside the news?
First of all, Batstrunk is a thing. Oh my god. No.
Wow. Yeah, Batstrunk is a thing. But do you know why?
I did not know that is what the episode needed, but it needed some Batstrunkiness.
There we go. We're going to take Batstrunk's face here. And we got green shot. We captured it. Excellent. Now let's take him off. And let's see what we can do with that little screenshot in a minute with some AI bullshit. Now we're going to go and put everybody back the way they were. And let's go to, I don't know, Galaxy. And let's present our screen. And what can we do with Batstrunk?
No.
We go AI image generator. Which one do we want to use? Let's
I was
use
actually going to show you my
GPU.
screen since we're here. Can I, here. There. So it looks like, sadly, my printer's this printer specifically is slightly too small to be able to print a cowl my size.
Ah.
That's
No.
That's okay. That's all right. I have another one coming. It'll be here in like a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. So I'll get back to you. But this is now on the list of things to do.
Batstruck.
I'm gonna add the Batman costume to this face.
This is going to end terribly.
Oh, this is gonna end horribly. You fucking know it too.
I'm concerned. Yeah, all I can think is John Green's Pizzagate.
Pizza good.
Let's see how this goes.
Pizza John. Excuse me, not Pizzagate.
Oh, it failed. I'm gonna have to use a different model probably. Let's try that one.
How much money do you give these AI things, anyways? You should.
All my money.
Yeah, I
Give me
know.
all the money.
Everything has a price. Give it more.
Yep. Silver Age Batman is the one Lambda says would fit Batstrunk the best.
I would just like to note that Pizzagate was definitely not.
Oh my
There's
god!
nothing like them.
Nothing.
If
Nothing.
if you
Too
look
much man, not enough bat.
at this, let's see, this is what I was referring to. I don't know if it'll let me show you. Maybe not.
No, Batman.
That's god awful.
Yes, it is. Well, we're gonna see what happens when we switch over to Midjourney.
Here, this is the shirt I was thinking of when I saw that.
Presenter invite. I don't see your screen up. You can share it if you want.
No. I dropped it in the Signal chat.
Oh. Well, funny. I don't have Signal open.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, that one. If you're a fan of the Vlogbrothers, that's John Green. And I would like to correct myself because Pizzagate was a whole other issue and not related to this at all. But Pizza John.
Thank you for the correction, Batman.
That's really important because Pizzagate was a very bad thing. Anyway. Oh my god. It's got a lot more gray hair than I do.
It's horrible. I love it.
No, Batstrunk.
No.
That is pretty bad.
I like how it took your glasses and incorporated them into the mask.
This is
That
dumb.
was great.
This is so dumb.
That one's even worse.
That was
It's like,
very poor. This is so bad.
let's see. That's what Midjourney can do. What did we see? What about Phoenix? Let's see what that'll do.
It's so bad.
This is so dumb.
Oh, it's fun. Fun times.
This is not what I anticipated when I showed up.
Batstrunk, yeah.
Batstrunk. Oh, you're a girl now for some reason. Apparently, Phoenix just doesn't know.
There we go.
Lady
Love
Batstrunk.
Love that.
Lady Strunk.
Finn Batstrunk. It's 2025, I guess.
Right, it's 2025. I mean, you know.
I guess depending on the model, you have different options here. Yeah, anyhow. Ooh, Grok tends to do a good job. Let's see. Go with Grok.
Jessica is currently enjoying today's content. Hey, Jessica. Thank you. Glad to see you're enjoying it. We are also enjoying it immensely, actually. Roasting the Batstrunk is actually low-key incredible.
I did
Spaghetti
not,
and meanballs.
I did not mean to be the butt of the joke.
It's okay. You're the bat butt of the joke, so...
Oh, wait. Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Swing and a swing?
There are so many hammers. Why can't I hold all these hammers?
You know, a lot of people say that's a problem with hammer.
Ha ha.
Burn all the AI image credits. See what we can get here.
It's worth it. It's fucking worth it. Y'all fucking know it's fucking worth it. Come on. It's so worth it.
If we do it right, we can put it on a shirt. Apparently, we're selling merch for this joke now.
Yeah. People want the merch, man. People want the merch. Gotta give people what they want.
We should put a vulnerable mage cart instance up on our website with a bunch of fake merch and see how long it takes somebody to pop it.
Don't say that, because now people are actually going to pop the real merch shop thinking it's our joke.
Only Pwns.com.
No, we'll use Jimmy Jimmy's drive-by.
How's that?
That's actually pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. I like that. You should. You should.
I like that.
You should drop that on me, because I will. I'll use that later. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good, and also absolutely terrible in the best possible way.
No, the Batstrunk.
No. Hey, at least his hair has improved over the years.
It has. I do like the Nordic look you got going there. All right, let me kill that, and we're back.
I think it fits me better than what I used to have for sure.
Yeah, the coconut look, dude.
Adam West is the Silver Age Batman. I thought he was Catman on Family Guy.
He was mayor, wasn't he?
He was the mayor, yes. So Sledge wrote, I had a topic, but I can't remember, so let's wrap it up. Okay, Sledge. Let's wrap this up. Sledge has a topic.
All right, Sledge, what's the topic?
You fuck.
I can't remember.
What's that
It's
say?
right?
I can't read it. Read the words.
Oh, God.
Metal.
It's supposed to.
Looks.
It's for rectal use only.
Yeah, I've got to roll those.
Yeah, it's for rectal use only.
No, the Batman voice saying it's for rectal use only is actually low-key terrifying.
Deltai's got the printer to make those labels, and he sends them. He brings them to DEF CON every year. They're great.
I got a whole roll.
Very good, very good.
I plan to be a menace.
Well, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Strong is my printer this year. Usually I use another guy because he's got 32 printers and he can just rock them out. But Crowds he can do one in half a day, it seems like.
Hey, Strong, can you print another version of that hammer but with a longer handle for me?
No, don't do that. Don't be a poser.
This is as large as that printer will print. When I get my next printer, when the next printer comes in, it will be larger.
So you don't have one for rectal use yet. Got it.
I mean, yes, this will work. Technically, it's got a flared base.
You've put a little more thought into that than I have, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
It's got the flared base.
And shameless self-promotion, Wild West Hacking Fest, Mile High released my talk this week. I think I did pretty good. I was really nervous, but I don't think I showed it.
They seem to think you did pretty good, too, because they released the talk instead of burned it.
It went really well because I was part of it.
You were there in spirit, brother. And also on video.
Everyone was sending me videos of that. It was hilarious.
They're
like, is that you?
Yes, it is.
It was fun times. All right. So, what did you have as a topic here, Sledge? You said I had a topic,
Dude,
but
I
I can't
can't remember. I can't remember. I got to go back to all the episodes and see what sparked the idea. I thought I
Is
wrote
that
it
when
down,
you
but
were
I guess not.
you were talking to a CISO guy before, and you were like, he should be our
That's
guest.
You
different.
got distracted by the power of Batstrunk.
I was going to say, isn't that me?
The CISO guy is different. There was something from our last episode that sparked a topic, but I can't remember.
Oh, from our last episode. So, here's a fun thing to do. Let's go Note GPT and share our fucking screen.
We're just going to do this live.
I thought I had
And
it written
hopefully-
down, damn it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Oh no.
Oh, good old Hub. Bill
I
O'Reilly.
remember specifically saying there's a topic there.
Where?
Talked about having
Where?
ABE on because, this thing exists. Well,
So I'm gonna go to YouTube, and then I'm gonna hit Iron Geek here, and then I'm gonna go to last week's episode.
I really hate this camera because it doesn't do the thing, but me and my homies would have been stacking bodies by now.
That sounds
Then I'm gonna
kinky.
grab it. I'm gonna go give me a summarization of last week's episode here, and then go back over here to StreamYard and share that tab. All right. So, Havoc and Sledge promises to equip listeners with the knowledge and tools necessary to navigate complex digital landscapes. Did we promise? I don't know if we promised.
Control F4.
I wouldn't say
there's a
promise is
topic
the
there.
right word.
Can you use dark mode for those of us who fucking hate
Yeah.
mode, please? Thank you. Well, there you
There
go.
we go.
Thanks. My eyeballs, thank you.
We talked about the Oracle Cloud breach. We talked about recent security exploits, one for Android Auto, Apple Zero Day, the 4chan hack, emerging legislative concerns. We talked about the anti-encryption bill in Florida. Yep.
So that's not an actual transcription. We won't find anything.
Yeah,
Well, I can
I think
actually pull down the entire transcript if you want with a timestamp or without
Yeah,
a
you'd
timestamp.
have to do that and then look for me saying the word topic.
Topic.
I think I showed up like halfway through the cast or whatever and started bullshitting through something. I can't remember. We were talking about gadgets.
I mean, that narrows it down by none. You do that all the time, my dude.
God damn. No, we were talking about like gadgets, like fucking Raspberry Pis and making
We
a
were talking about a print server you built.
print server I built and some LED lights that I was working on, some other shit. Does that help at all? Sledge?
Not really.
Another
narrows it
topic
down
for
by
next
none.
week, but we could save it. Cool. All right. Sounds good. With that Keyblade, I printed all the right hackers and cyber warriors. It's time to encrypt this episode. Nope, that's it. This word topic is only mentioned like a few times. And you went upstairs. Appreciate it. I have another topic for next week. We could save it. Cool. All right. Sounds good with Keyblade is what I got there from the
God. It was probably right there. What was I thinking? I don't remember.
Dude, if I could get inside your head, I would probably be screaming.
If I could
Fuck
get
outta
inside
here.
your head, I think I'd rather not. No offense, dude. It sounds like a terrifying place, though.
Oh, you'd have a lot of fun.
I doubt that. If it's anything like mine, it's kind of scary.
No, it's fun. A lot of calculated risk.
Wait, you calculate your risk?
Hey, I'm bad at math.
It's okay. We have a CVSS score for you.
I call myself a high, not quite a critical, but a high
In a web app,
in anything.
I could ask it a question if you want there, Sledge. I could say, what the fuck was Sledge thinking about? Let me do that.
What do
Yeah,
I
chat
come
here.
up with? For shits
What?
and giggles.
Topic to Sledge. Have for next week? Question mark. Wow. Next week, Sledge is reportedly set to dive into it's still going. a variety of intriguing topics, including in-depth discussion surrounding activities and implications of a whistleblower named Doge related to the National Labor Relations Board. I don't think that's accurate. Suds will explore the funding crisis in CVE. I don't think you're going to do that. Tackle essential and timely cybersecurity issues. I don't think you're going to do that either.
Wait, we
Yeah,
ever do that?
It's
None
just
of that's
bullshit.
ringing a bell.
So I don't think you said it out loud. I think you put it in your head. It's all in your head.
Oh well.
You know,
In
there's a
your
lot of things
red-
in his head.
Are there?
Yeah,
That's good.
just none of them good. I'm scared of all of them.
No thoughts, just splash.
As I say, no thoughts, just pyromania.
We
That's
can go through the chart we created based on our episode too, if you'd like. Just dig into that. Poof, full screen it.
It was one of our off-topic banters that triggered it.
Yeah, that narrows it down by none.
I know.
you,
I got
you-
one more cool article that should trigger some topics for us. Let me pull that one up because I think you guys will like it. It was
Remember that one time Aphex made that video of us saying fuck for 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's actually quite a good topic, honestly.
Yeah,
That video's quality.
that video is excellent.
I highly approved the 10 minutes of us just saying fuck.
Oh no, we're gonna have to go enable
12 foot,
restricted.
12-foot ladder. Excuse me.
There we go. And we got it. So, in October 2017, the SWAT team descended onto Jameson Lopp's house in North Carolina. I believe this is that video that what's his name showed us, Nathan. Somewhere, it still isn't clear in the video, someone had called the police and falsely claimed there was a shooter in the home and they killed somebody and taken a hostage. The TLDR here is that then after the police stormed his house and he got swatted, somebody contacted him and asked for ransom and told them that they would do it again otherwise. So our self-described libertarian who works for a Bitcoin security company had been long obsessed with privacy. So he set out how to escape all the seeing eyes of corporate America and the government. And he wanted to do it without giving up internet access or moving to a shack in the woods. Why not? I would love to have a shack in the woods with no internet.
Actually, sounds kind of lovely. They can't make me pay taxes out there.
It's the Kaczynski lifestyle. Many celebrities and wealthy people wary of thieves, paparazzi, and others, yada, yada, yada. So we have all the fluff here that leads to how he did it. So first, dude creates a new corporate identity. So people end up in databases when they fill out forms to buy property, register for credit, or run-of-the-mill transactions. But because he wanted to do this in such a way where he's being anonymous, he needed a new name and address that wouldn't give away his personal info. So he asked his lawyers, who specialize in privacy, the best way to do it. They told him to create an LLC to serve as his new identity. So he creates this corporation, right? Not too hard in most states. He'd be registered as the owner. That would make him easy to track down if somebody learned the name of the LLC. Nevada, Wyoming, and New Mexico, however, don't require corporations to record their owners. So he took advantage of that, created a new LLC. Then he sets up bank accounts for the LLC and credit cards, puts his name to make new purchases that weren't him. He opened a bank account with one of his new LLCs and created a corporate credit card with an online company, and it didn't require him to have his name on the card. So the card is in the name of the company, and to ensure he doesn't tie too much information to the corporation, he makes most purchases when buying something online using prepaid debit cards that don't have his last name or LLC name. He carries cash is step 3, most anonymous way. Best crypto coin ever is cash, in my opinion. It's pretty hard to trace cash. So simply he uses cash whenever he can. He got a new phone number because phone numbers are tracked to your identity, right? So anyone who subpoenas or hacks a phone number can figure out who the hell you are. So he stopped using his old phone number, which was linked to his real name, and set up a new one under his corporate identity. Started using a service to generate new throwaway phone numbers that masked his master account. For his conversation with the reporter, he used a number that started with 917 area code. He created this number a few minutes before making the phone call and will delete it shortly thereafter. Then, stopped using the phone for directions. To make sure his phone wasn't keeping a record of everywhere he'd been and potentially transmitting it to the apps he was using, he turned off all geolocation services. Smart idea to keep geolocation off unless you absolutely need it. He bought a dedicated GPS device that isn't tied to him in any way. He uses that to get around. His old house was very tied to him, as well as so him and his dog needed a new house. Didn't have any children, so he declined to comment on whether he had a significant other. So he found a property to buy and bought it with his LLC and a cashier's check. Had the LLC bank account, pay for the house in full. You're going to do this, not you really can't get a mortgage, right? Made up a fake name for casual interactions. Didn't want his new neighbors to blow his cover, so introduces him to his neighbors using a pseudonym. At first, he felt strange about it, but now he feels weirder telling people his real name. Then, his home internet is wrapped in a VPN. So, his router is going out to a VPN, so there's no direct link between the websites he visits and his home internet service.
Roll your own fucking VPN.
Roll
I like
it.
the periods between the VP and the N.
Are you tired of using VPNs that are slower than your grandma's gossip circle? Do you want to secure your internet without...
Well, that didn't work.
Aww.
I love that video so much. God damn it.
It's because I have no script up, and I have to freaking whitelist all these freaking websites here for no script. Anyway, so I can't play the video right now. Sledge, you can play the video if you want to. Number 9, buy a boring car. His motorcycle and Lotus Elise sports car were registered to him through a North Carolina division of motor vehicles. Now, as many of you know who do any kind of skip tracing, you can take a license plate and turn it into a VIN. And there are VIN lookup services that will tell you who owns a car, and they don't cost too much. I think per API lookup, you're looking at about 50 cents at most. So the car had to go. So he purchased a new car, picked a less flashy model, and used the LLC to buy it. Also got rid of his vanity license plate that said Bitcoin. Next, he bought a decoy house to fool the DMV. To register the car to DMV insisted not only on a real name, not his LLC, and a street address. So to satisfy the DMV without giving away the address of his new home, he purchased a tiny second property just for this purpose. It's the crappiest, cheapest hole in the wall I could find that has a physical mailbox, he said. Then he set up a private mailbox and remailing service. He didn't want his new home or anyone on anyone's mailing list, even if it's under his LLC. So when he does need to receive mail, he created a private mailbox at a shipping center not far from his house. So he has his mail and packages essentially shipped there and then reshipped to him through a remailing service, where the shipper gets the address of a private company that receives the mail in a different state and then reroutes it to his private mailbox.
Checks
The
out.
art of disguise. Then there are surveillance cameras everywhere, many of them with facial recognition. He didn't want to get plastic surgery to completely change his appearance, so when he ventures out, he wears sunglasses and a hat. He used to have a big, easily noticed beard, but it's more manageable lengthwise now. And works remotely. Attending a meeting in person would give away his client information about his travels on location, so he works remotely, does meetings by video conference in rooms where people won't be able to identify where he is, and uses probably a virtual background like most of us tend to do. And he encrypted his devices when traveling remotely. So when he traveled to Tokyo, he had no choice but to present his passport at the border. But he does not take precautions. He shuts down his digital devices and encrypts all his data. That way, if customs official turns his device back on, his information is still protected. And if you are running Graphene OS, there are ways to have secondary pins that do additional things, which is kind of fun. He hired a PI to check his work. So to make sure he didn't make mistakes, he hired a PI to try and find him. This was an investigator who helped him figure out his DMV registration was making him vulnerable, which led him to getting that decoy address. Now, this was not cheap. He estimates that his efforts to disappear cost him about $30,000. He didn't expect too many people to follow his example, but he views the experiment as doing his part to in a broader effort to lay out what it takes to reclaim privacy in the modern world.
Wait, that's all 30 grand? Damn, he did that pretty cheap. I've heard people
Yeah.
spending a lot more than that.
I mean, he bought a property and switched his car. I mean, 30 grand
Oh,
is
he
pretty
did
cheap
all
to buy.
that for 30 grand? Teach me how to buy a house for 30 grand. Like, I don't even care about the OPSEC anymore.
So when it talks about him buying that property under move here, he says he bought the cheapest property he could find with a mailbox.
It
So it
also
might not
said,
even be a house. It could
it
just
also
be
said
like,
that he bought a house with a cashier's check before that.
yep, tied to his LLC.
Mm-hmm. No. Yes, yeah, that's it.
Yep. So yeah, man, it's pretty interesting how this guy was able to disappear. Definitely some lessons we can all take there on ways to reduce our attack surface and our information that we're leaking every day.
That is some pretty cheeky OPSEC.
I love it. Now that is how you turn SlopSec into OPSEC. Hey, Lambda, are you listening?
So Lambda, the phone I got is about $300. The Pixel 8, it runs graphene really well, and you can pick one up used on Amazon that works just like a new one for like $250 to $300. Highly recommend. Yeah. Short of that, I just thought it was a great article to share about how this guy was able to regain his privacy or a measure of it, and definitely some good takeaways in there for those of us who would like to maybe stay a little bit more off the grid. This is where somebody else talks.
I want to buy a house for 30 grand. Like, that's what I'm hung up on. Can I please get a house for 30 grand? Please, 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 please. Like, I don't even need the car for 30 grand. Just where the fuck can you get that kind of land? Like, I don't care if it's the worst shithole.
So I was looking at where I could just buy like land to do stuff, and one of the things I came across is this company that resells like giant plots of land for homesteading, and in parts of Texas it's really, really cheap to get like a large plot of land in the middle of fucking nowhere, but you can put a mailbox up on it. It'd probably work fine.
Yeah, like, hell, if I could just get that and room for fun equipment, I would be a pretty happy campy, all things considered.
Hey, there's a lot of cool shit you can do if you have a place to do it. You just got to be careful what you do in your place until you've got another place. If you get my drift.
The fight of the hacker. The fight of the hacker.
So, like, for $55,000, you could get 20 acres in Texas with $14,000 down and $445 monthly.
It's not bad.
That land has acres, and you could also get, let's see, in Hudspeth County near Sierra Blanca. You get really cheap land. Yep. So there's places you can find cheap land if you know where to look. TexasRanchDeals.com is where I was looking, and I found that shit. But there's lots of different websites to do the same thing.
Hell yeah. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I mean, not that I'd want to live in Texas right now with the current political climate.
Would anyone?
It's warm.
I like warm. I lived in Las Vegas.
I hate the warm. See, the thing about the cold is I can put on as many cloaks or whatever I desire. When it gets hot, I can only take so much off before it becomes indecent exposure. That's a problem.
I mean, if you got 20 acres, there's at least half of those acres no one can see your naked ass. So,
well, we could have another episode on that another day. But I think
Batstrunk's naked ass.
I used to live on 60 acres in the middle of nowhere. Your nearest neighbor was at least 1.5 miles away. So you could walk out your patio butt ass naked with a rifle, shoot a deer, take a piss. It was awesome. The only downside is it was a 4-hour trip to get groceries. So we had our own garden, harvest our own meat, all that.
Yeah, that is a fucking grocery bit. That does
Rest
suck.
in peace. Hammer.
Wait, Hammer's gone. Oh shit, we get to talk shit about Hammer now because he's gone.
Well, first it's me, then out there. Yes.
Oh, okay, he's back.
To,
No, we're talking shit about Hammer.
after disable no script on the
You're breaking up, bro. Try again.
I'm going to drop here in a few.
Yeah, I know. I said I needed to reload the page after disabling no script so that I can actually play media assets so I can play us our outro clip. Otherwise, we cannot play an outro clip.
That's important.
Yes. So, this has been another great episode. Thank you all for joining.
All right, hackers and cyber warriors, it's time to encrypt this episode and send it out into the digital ether. Thank you to Sledge, Delchi, CrowdStrong, and Altkey for another epic nerd out session. And a special thanks to our guests for joining us. And to all our listeners out there in the cyber trenches, patch fast, encrypt tight, lock down your ports, and leave no backdoor open. Hunt threats like it's open season. Keep your passwords long, your MFA enabled. Don't use SMS as a second factor. Keep your malware signatures up to date, your critical data backed up, and your network locked down like Fort Knox. Until our next Punfest, stay vigilant, stay curious, and above all, stay counter-surveil. Whether you're pen testing networks or hardening your own defenses, remember, in the game of cybersecurity, you're either the hunter or the hunted. So sharpen those skills, mask those IPs, and we'll see you on the dark side of the net. This is Counter Surveil, where we turn paranoia into preparation, shutting down but never logging off.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.